When you picture just nature, what is the very first thing that pops into your head? Is it scenic views of grassy landscapes during golden hour? Cascading waterfalls on giant rock formations? Chances are it's something beautiful because nature is beautiful. Right? I have compiled a list of some of nature's atrocities, things that will make you view certain animals entirely differently. Sometimes animals that seem cute and marketable have a tragic reality, and today we're going to be exploring some of those. This is the dark side of nature. Let's start off underwater with these maniacal pieces of shit. Orcas kill for fun. Like, obviously they also kill for food, but sometimes they just get bored, I guess. But guess who they kill? Just guess. Other orcas. I'm kidding. It's the fucking baby seals. Are you kidding me? They'll get into groups and sneak up on them and then just snatch them. They will sometimes do it for food, but other times it's just for the thrill. Anyway, I don't have much more to say about this one. Is what I would say if they also didn't torture them. They've been observed like getting into a circle and then just playing volleyball with it, with the infant. Or like they'll jump out of the water and land on it over and over again, just wearing it down. Again, for no reason. They're not eating it. They're just doing it for fun. Look at this. Look at that. Oh my God. All right, let's reel it back a little bit and talk about something that people care less about than baby seals. Flies. I've brought this up before. If you watch the original short on flies, we'll get into ducks later. So you know how flies are always like rubbing their hands together like they're a supervillain or some shit? Well, they actually rub their entire bodies down. It's how they clean themselves. Their wings aren't designed to carry that much cargo, obviously, so anything they can drop off is very helpful to them. I mean, they literally land on what they eat, so they pick up a lot of shit. Sometimes they're cleaning themselves, taking the equivalent of a nice shower, and then there it goes. No more head for you. How is your head so poorly placed on your body that a fly can just pop it right off? They can actually continue living without their head as well. It's just they have no mouth or eyes, so they can't eat or see. And good fucking luck. It'll also try to eat its own head, like it has the intelligence of a small insect or something. All right, moving on to... Koalas are riddled with chlamydia. Their bodies are terrible at defending against it. Infection rates go as high as 100% in some areas. That's literally all of them. This results in a lot of death, making them too weak to climb trees to get food or escape predators. Their diet doesn't give them a lot of energy, so they're already kind of weak as it is. Their diet does a lot more than keep them drained, though. They eat eucalyptus leaves and nothing else. And they have like no nutritional value at all, but there's a much bigger issue with them. Eucalyptus leaves are extremely abrasive, and it will wear their teeth down over time. They've evolved around this by continuously growing teeth throughout their life, unlike humans who only have 2 sets. But they can't grow them forever, so eventually they'll just wear their teeth down entirely and then they'll die of starvation. Imagine dying of starvation because you ate too much. All right, the last two weren't nearly as bad as orcas, so let's get back into it with... The American red squirrel is a species of you'll never guess that partake in some questionable practices. Infant homicide. And cannibalism also. You'll never guess who they cannibalize. It's the fucking infants. Let me put it bluntly, okay? The male squirrels sometimes kill other squirrel pups and then eat them. Not their own though, only other people's squirrel pups. This seems to happen more often when food is bountiful, which sounds fucking stupid, but it's probably because the females have more babies during this time, usually having a second litter. So maybe it's like a population control thing. I don't know. Oh, great. They also kill baby bunnies and baby... You ever see a bird convulsing on the floor and using context clues realize that bird ran into a building? This typically happens because windows just reflect more sky, making the birds think that it's just more sky. But why does this still happen so often and... I can't say that fucking word. 30 takes is enough. Anyway, that bird that's convulsing and writhing on the floor is probably wasted out of its mind. Birds typically eat berries, and at the end of fall and winter, these berries will sometimes ferment. Essentially, they turn into alcohol. These birds will then eat these berries, hoping for some sugar, but then they'll just get extremely drunk. Like wasted drunk. Birds are not intelligent enough to realize they probably shouldn't be flying under the influence, so usually when this happens, they either severely injure themselves or die. It's not very hard to tell when a bird is drunk either. They stumble around like humans do, and like they'll be chilling on a branch and then they'll just fall, which I find so funny. Do you feel bad for birds now? What an awful story, right? But you're not gonna like birds for much longer, because now we're moving on to... Let's conclude this video with the worst one by far. This list has been comprised of gruesome or sad deaths that are very commonplace in the lives of certain species. This one is just dark. I want to give a serious trigger warning before we get into this, because we are actually dealing with some pretty heavy topics this time. So viewer discretion is advised. Ducks, much like humans, are monogamous, meaning that we typically choose one single partner and just stick to them. This means that eventually all of the female ducks will have been taken by other male ducks, and when this happens, the male ducks get into groups. Need I say more? Believe it or not, this is not nearly enough for ducks to make it onto the list. This is actually a very common thing that happens in nature. Including the koalas that we mentioned earlier, they do that as well. But there's a few things about ducks that just make this a particularly disturbing case. First of all, like I already mentioned, they do this in groups, pinning the female down. The male duck's unit is also massive, which just causes additional pain. How big is it, you ask? 17 inches long. That's almost as big as mine. I genuinely did not believe this whenever I came across it during research, so I found a video that is now ingrained in the back of my head forever. Do not go looking for it. To put into perspective how much this happens, there are evolutionary features that female ducks have specifically to prevent this from happening. One is just the way the female unit is shaped. It's shaped in the opposite direction of the male unit, which just makes insertion harder. More importantly, the female unit is very complex, having all of these like little cul-de-sacs and shoots and spirals, and it's meant to prevent fertilization. So even if it does happen, no child will be born out of it. The fact that it happens so much that there are evolutionary measures to prevent this is just the most disturbing thing in the world to me, honestly. I will never look at ducks the same way again. All right, that's enough for this video. I don't want to continue talking. If you want to see more, let me know, because nature is a very twisted place. I could definitely pull more facts for a part 2. For example, there's a fish that is attracted to ammonia, which there's a lot of ammonia in piss. So whenever you pee into a lake, it will try to find the source of the ammonia, and it will swim into your fucking urethra and decompose. I'm kidding, I made that up. You believed me? Why? Because I'm the guy behind the screen? Don't trust everything you see online. For example, I lied again. I didn't make that up. It's a myth. It's a very common myth about this fish that I forgot the name of. Also, for anyone that's been around for a while, I'm typically a shorts creator, but no longer am I. This transition over to long form content with the Splatoon video, and now this one is permanent. Don't worry though, I'll still be making dedicated shorts every now and then, just less frequently than I have before. I could finish a short in about a day, but it takes me about a week to make a long form video, and I want to spend the time that I would be making shorts daily to instead be making these long form videos. It just feels better, you know? I can't say go watch my banana short. You don't even know which one that is, and there's no titles in shorts, so how are you gonna find it? But if I say go watch my Splatoon video, you can go find it pretty easily. So go watch my Splatoon video. One more thing, of course, huge shout out to PigG13 and really for being channel members. Your support just means the world to me. But thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.